ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, I welcome all of you to this weekly Bhagavad Gita discussion class. Right now we are discussing the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and in this second chapter, in the last session we discussed on the verse 2.47, and the 2.47 is the famous verse where Krishna is telling what is Niskam Karma Yoga. Karmani Vyadhikaraste. You, while working, you be attached to your duties, but don't attach to the result. So that's what Krishna is explaining in the verse 2.47. And actually, this section from the verse 2.47 to the verse 2.53, in this section, Lord Krishna is going to explain the concept of Niskam Karma Yoga. So today also the same concept will continue in the verse 2.48. Today's verse we will see verse number 2.48. I set the screen so that you all can see the verse also. 2.48. Okay. So we'll recite the verse. Yogastha kuru karmani Sangam tvekta dhananjaya siddhi asiddhayo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So in this verse Krishna is telling Yogastha kuru karmani. You will see Krishna is telling Yogastha kuru karmani. So Yogastha means situated in Niskam Karma Yoga. Being situated in the Niskam Karma Yoga, Yogastha means it's a fixed position. Somebody is at one place, it is called stha. Yogastha Kuru Karmani, oh my dear Arjuna, so being situated in this Niskam Karma Yoga, you can do whatever activity you want to do, being situated in this Niskam desire. Sangam Tvekta Dhananjaya. So while doing Dhananjaya Arjuna, Sangam Tvakta means you are not attached with the result. Sangam means attachment. Tvakta means giving up. Giving up the result, giving up the attachment to the result, you are performing the activity. So then what happened? There may be two cases. Either you may get success or you may get failure, right? Siddhi asiddhayo samo bhutva. Either you won or either you get lose. Either India wins the match or India got defeated. So whatever may be the situation, you should be samo bhutva. Samo bhutva means what? Maintaining the equilibrium of the mind. That is called samo bhutva. So whether you get the lottery or you get bankrupted. So keep your mind always in equilibrium. Don't get agitated with the situation, because whatever may be the situation, it is temporary, because the whole world is temporary. We are also temporary. So why to take a lot of tension? So Krishna is telling, always balance your mind. Samatvam yoga uchyate. And this is called yoga uchyate. This concept, what Krishna is telling, maintaining our calmness in both success and failure, this technique is actually called yoga uchyate. This is the crux of yoga. Not that and going to some yoga studio and bending our the legs, hand and neck, that is a yoga. That is a part of yoga, but actually the concept of yoga is that whatever happens in our life, whether success or failure, keeping ourselves always in the equilibrium, that is the greatest, that is the concept of yoga. Krishna is clarifying here. So, a famous example is coming into my mind in the Srimad Bhagavat Puran. There was a king named Chitraketu, and this king was such an famous king, and he was a great devotee of Sankarshan, great devotee of Vishnu. And he had an airplane. He used to live in the heavenly planet. So he was a devotee of Vishnu, and he had an airplane, and in that airplane, he could go wherever he want to go. But while traveling, he used to preach always Krishna consciousness. Wherever he used to go, he used to preach Krishna consciousness. He used to sing glories of Vishnu, Krishna, like that he was doing. So one day, he came to Kailas, the Lord Shiva's abode, the Himalaya region. So he was flying, and he just flying over the Kailas, and he saw that Lord Shiva was giving a class. Lord Shiva was giving a pravachan. And then, to his surprise, he saw so many sages were sitting in that class. But Lord Shiva, he kept his wife Parvati on his lap. And keeping Parvati on his lap, he was giving a class on renunciation, Vairagya. So he was totally interesting. He was saying that so he's giving to talk on Vairagya renunciation, but he's holding his wife on his lap. So it match nahi ho raha hai na. So then he gave a comment. Excuse me, he gave a comment. He told that to Lord Shiva that you are giving a class on renunciation to all these Vairagi sannyasis, but at least you should keep your wife in the house, right? You should not place your wife on the lap and in front of all these sadhu and you are giving class on the Vairagi. It doesn't look good. So then Shiva saw him and Shiva gave a smile. Okay, noted. But Parvati, she became furious. She became very angry. That how dare you give comment to us? Have somebody appointment gave you appointment for giving comment? Or so Parvati became very angry, and she became very furious. And then she started chastising Chitraketu Maharaj left, right, center like anything. And she became so furious, she cursed Chitraketu Maharaj that you are such a big person and God has given you airplane and you are traveling in the heavenly planet, but what kind of things you are doing? You are not able to see my purity, my chastity, my intention, and you are giving such kind of a comment. So you don't deserve to be in the heavenly planet. Better you come to this earthly planet. And then Parvati gave a curse that better you become a demon. And that's how the famous demon, you might have heard the name Vitrasur. Vitrasur, the famous demon in the Bhagavatam Puran comes, whom Indra comes for killing. So this Chitraketu Maharaj become Vitrasur. And when Chitraketu Maharaj heard that he has been cursed by Mother Parvati, so he comes out of his airplane, he halts his airplane in the Kailas, and he get down from his airplane and he goes to directly to Mother Parvati. And then Chitraketu Maharaj tells that, oh my mother, um, whatever you have told, so be it. I don't fear about whatever I am going to happen now. It's okay. Whatever you have told, let it be. So he tells the nice sloka that ko shapa ko anugraha. So what is blessing and what is curse in this material world? In one sense, it tells that everything is temporary. Our life is also temporary. So in this temporary life, whether we get an 1 crore of lottery or nothing, everything is temporary only. Nobody is going to take that 1 crore of lottery to his heaven. Everything is going to remain here only. So I am not bewildered with your curse. But one thing I want to clarify that I didn't have any bad feelings towards your husband or you also. I just gave a comment as a well-wisher of Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva and Chitraketu, they are like friends. They were both like friends. So that's why Lord Shiva didn't took it very seriously. Shiva smiled. But Parvati took it very seriously. So he told that I didn't have any bad intention towards you or towards your husband. But whatever you desire, you are like my mother. I accept your curse as blessing for me. And then he boarded his plane and he went. And then Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva looks to Parvati. And Lord Shiva tells to Parvati, just you see what kind of devotee he has. You just cursed him. But he's so grateful and he's totally neutral. Whether you are cursing or whether you're blessing, the devotees of Lord Vishnu, Krishna, are always fixed in Lord Krishna's devotional service. So our material cursing, blessing doesn't affect them. They are always neutral. So that's what Krishna is telling, Sama Bhutva. Whether somebody is getting curse or somebody getting the blessing, they are always fixed and neutral. And from where they get the strength? When they practice devotional service. So that is how the famous example of Chitraketu Maharaj we can see here. He was not affected by the curse and blessing. And then Lord Shiva tells actually the character of Chitraketu Maharaj, my dear wife, Parvati, actually the character of Chitraketu Maharaj is more beautiful than your beauty. Shiva gave a comment to Parvati. Parvati becomes silent. What should we do now? Already cursed. So that's how the character of Vaishnavas are more beautiful. And in front of that beauty, your beauty is nothing. Lord Shiva tells. This is one of the famous pastime happens in Srimad Bhagavatam. It comes in the 6th canto. So here in this sloka, Prabhupada is telling that yoga. Yoga means connection of the Jivatma with the God. When the living entity is connected with the God, this is actually the meaning of yoga. So, and then Prabhupada gives so many other examples also in this sloka. Prabhupada tells about the servant of Krishna. The real identity of a living entity is to become servant of Krishna. Becoming servant of Krishna means Krishna is God and we are the servant of God. So this is the real identity everybody should have. The Prabhupada quotes from the scripture. And then Prabhupada is telling here that one has to become the servant of Krishna, and that is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and as such, he is participating in the Varnasrama Dharma. So, because Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and Lord Krishna is giving him instruction that better you fight, and taking the instruction of Krishna, Arjuna is performing his duty and he is fighting. So that's what the Niskam Karma Yoga concept. In the Niskam Karma means people, according to their Vasana, according to their Varna, Asrama, Dharma, they are performing the duty. That is the Niskam Karma Yoga concept. And then in the verse 2.49, where 2.49, Krishna is now going to compare Sakam Karma Yoga versus Niskam Karma Yoga. What is the difference between these two? Krishna is now going to compare here. So we'll recite the sloka 2.49. Durena hi abaram karma buddhi yoga dhanajaya buddhau sharanam anvicha Kripana Palahetava. So Krishna is telling, Durena hi avaram karma. Oh my dear Arjuna, Durena, dur mein hi rakho usko. Kisko? Avaram karma. Avaram means inferior, lowly work. if from the far only that lowly work, what kind of lowly work? Sakam Karma Yoga. The activities where the people does the activity, but they have a desire to enjoy the result. That kind of activity are very lowly activity. That is not very appreciable. Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya. Buddhi Yoga means here Niskam Karma Yoga. The activity where we are not attached with the result. So, the action where you are performing with the desire, with the result, they are very inferior. So, keep it very far. And you focus on the Buddhi Yoga, focus on the Niskam Karma Yoga. Buddho Saranam Anvicham. How you can perform your Niskam Karma Yoga? By surrendering, Buddham Saranam, by surrendering to God. Kripana Phala Hetava. But those who are misers, Kripana means miser, कंजूस रहते हैं ना, they have money but they don't donate. Every time you ask, they will, अरे प्रभु जी बहुत महंगाई चल रहा है, अरे प्रभु जी बहुत प्रॉब्लम है. So they are called kripana, misers. Phalahedava. The misers always they focus on the result. What I'll get from this work. That is the concept of misers. They always think about the result oriented. If I'll do this, then what result I'll get? What benefit I'll get? So they are always thinking about, this is called selfish mentality. They will always think about their self. That what am I going to get from this action? If I'm not going to get anything, then they won't put their hand. This is called the miser people. So Sakam Karma Yoga is done by miser people, Krishna is telling. But Niskam Karma Yoga are done by people who are superior and they think about others. Because you are doing your activity, but you are not attached to the result. That needs a kind of a selflessness, right? If you are selfish, then you can't do. The selfish people always think about the result. I'm giving 2 paisa, I should return 4 paisa. Something like that. They always keep in thinking. So Krishna is telling, that is why Krishna is comparing Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya. So the avaram karma here in Sakam karma here is very inferior and buddhi yoga is very superior. So Krishna has given his final verdict in 2.49 that this is how we are progressing now. So Sakam Karma Yoga, then Niskam Karma Yoga, and Niskam Karma Yoga is better than Sakam Karma Yoga. This sloka Krishna is telling in Gita. That's how Krishna will take gradually Arjuna from Sakam to Niskam to Jnana to Yoga to Bhakti. That is how the Bhagavad Gita, like a ladder, you climb one step after one step. So Krishna is telling all the options, and then Krishna is giving his own verdict also, what is best for you. And in this way, Krishna will take Arjuna to various levels. Okay, and then Prabhupada tells in this sloka, Prabhupada is telling, misers do not know how to utilize the asset for riches. Okay, Prabhupada giving a in detail analysis of a miser. So Prabhupada is telling, a miser sometimes falls sick and really he needs a proper treatment and he has a lot of money also, but he doesn't invest the money. So he needs the money and his health is not good, still he's not investing the money. So this is called misers. Means what he will do with the money if he's going to die and he's not treating himself only. So this is called miser. Means there is no point of doing that, and still they are so much miser that they won't invest money on themselves only. And like that, they will give all the money and they will die. So this kind of a thought pattern, those persons who have, they cannot perform Niskam Karma Yoga because Niskam Karma Yoga needs selflessness. From there means you are doing, but you are not attached to the result and you are thinking about the whole people, citizen, your society. So that is the concept of Niskam Karma Yoga. Prabhupada is clarifying. And then verse number 2.50, Krishna is now going to tell art of doing activity. Like 2.47 we saw how to perform activity. This is also towards somewhat similar verses. Actually the same concept so many times Krishna repeats in the Gita also. Just like if you are a teacher, you can understand it. Sometimes we explain something to the student and the same thing we try to explain in a different way. because the same concept sometimes some certain students understand. The same concept, if you explain in a different style, some certain students understand. So in the class, there are 30-40 students, means the same concept the teacher explained 3-4 different ways. And so that all people will understand. So in this 2.50 also, Krishna again explains the concept of Niskam Karma Yoga, just like he explained in 2.47. Again, he explains. Let's try to recite the verse 2.50. Buddhi yukto jahatita ubhe sukruta duskrute tasmad yogaye ujjashva yoga karmashu kaushalam. Yoga karmashu kaushalam. Kaushal means what? Skill. The art of doing work. So Krishna is telling Kaushal, what is the skill set, how to do the work. Buddhi yukta jahatita. Buddhi yukta means niskam karma yoga here. You should perform your activity with your intelligence. ऐसा ही गधे की तरह जो भी बोला वो कर देगा. You apply your intelligence. Buddhi yukta. Apply your intelligence, what should be done and what should not be done, and perform your activity. And then he is telling jahatita. If you do like that, then jahatita, jahatita means fire. Like fire burns everything to the ashes. Ubhe sukruta duskruta. Ubhe means both. Sukruta means pious activity. Duskruta means impious activity. So if you perform niskam karma yoga without attachment to the result, then automatically it will burn all your punya, all your papa, pious and impious. Somebody will say, Prabhuji, impious is okay. Why? Pious activity. Let that pious activity be there. So if you have pious activity, then you can't get moksha. Pious activity, again, it will attract to the heaven. Because the pious activity at max, it will take you to heaven. And if you have pious credit, means you have to go heaven. So Niskam Karma Yoga goal is to free you from birth and death life cycle moksha. So it destroys the pious activity also. Ubhe Sukruta pious activity, Duskruta impious activity. Okay. Tasmad yogaya yujjasa. Therefore, my dear Arjuna, practice this Niskam Karma Yoga. Yoga Karmashu Kaushala. And this is the art of doing your activity. In this concept, Yoga Karmashu Kaushala. In this way, in this Niskam Karma Yoga, you can perform your karma. And Kaushala, this is the art of performing your any activity, Varnasram activity. So, very nice lesson we can learn from this, that somebody may be engineer, somebody may be doctor, businessman, whoever we may be, and we are doing so many activity in the life. So the art of performing duty, sometimes people they tell, Prabhuji, I spend 8 hours before screen, I do coding, I am a software engineer. There is no Krishna consciousness while performing my duty. I should leave everything and come to temple and I'll do some seva. Well, very good idea to come temple and do seva, but you may not get that kind of a package like you are getting in your company, Baba. So then they tell that, but that is not devotional service, na Prabhu. So like, see, devotional service, it doesn't matter on what kind of external activity we are doing. It depends on our thought process, our mentality, our intention while doing the activity. So somebody may be doing some kind of a activity in the temple itself, but his intention is not good if it is not pure. So it may not be devotional service, although he may be doing some kind of a job in a temple setup. But somebody may be working hard in a company, but his intention is to serve Krishna in a pure way and serve Vaishnavas and practice devotional service very nicely. So that is devotional service. So you can't just judge by seeing the external things. Devotional service is a matter of your emotion and your intention in the heart. So that is how the kaushala, the karma kaushala means, while performing the activity, if a person is performing as I am a servant of Lord and I am just performing the seva, whatever is given, Yeah, I'm a householder, I have a wife, I have a children, I have this family, I have to maintain them, and then they are the children of Krishna. So having this idea, somebody is performing his duties, is a kind of a bhakta, he's kind of a performing devotional service only. So this intention is very important, what we are doing, for whom we are doing. And then automatically the thought, the intention, everything will be aligned. And this is very nicely, Prabhupada also explains here in this purport. And he's telling that actually the living entity are ignorant since time immemorial. Means we are suffering in this material world since so long time. And somehow or other, by Krishna's mercy, Vaishnava's mercy, we come in contact with Bhagavad Gita or chanting or Lord's Krishna's prasad or deity, and then the spark of Krishna consciousness, it start igniting. Yeah, it start igniting, and slowly you get a taste in devotional service. And then Prabhupada is telling it is very fortunate, and we should very sincerely practice this process, and then only it is possible to get free from this cycle of birth and death. So, Prabhupada, Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying process of this heart. And that's how this section is now, one small section is now completed. How here in this verses, 3 verses, Krishna is telling that between Sakam Karma Yoga and Niskam Karma Yoga is superior than Sakam Karma Yoga. Sakam Karma Yoga, generally people who are miser, they are attracted to Sakam Karma Yoga. But the higher people, those who are connected with some higher principle in the life, they go for Niskam Karma Yoga. And when somebody practices Niskam Karma Yoga, then automatically all the impious credit that get eradicated. With that, whatever the pious credit he had, that also get eradicated. Because when the impious and pious that get destroyed, then only we can get liberation. Otherwise, it will hold you. And then he tells that this Niskam Karma Yoga, somebody is practicing the kaushala, the art of doing activities, that this is the perfect art of doing activity, attached to the responsibility, but detached to the result. I'll tell again, attached to the responsibility of performing the duty, simultaneously detached from the fruit of the activity. So this is, in a nutshell, is the real art of performing Niskam Karma Yoga. Here, Krishna has clarified in these 3 verses. And then next week, we'll see from the verse number 2.51. In these verses now, Krishna is going to explain that after practicing Niskam Karma Yoga, the end product, the result, what result is awaiting for us, and how we'll get the result. About that result, Krishna is going to explain from the verse 2.51, 52, 53, that we will discuss in the next week class. Hare Krishna. So anybody have any questions, comments, please unmute yourself and you all can speak. Hare Krishna. Yes, Vikasji.
Prabhuji, when you say that Lord Krishna is asking, is promoting the Nishtam Karma. Okay, so let's say I'm working in my company. I'm very tediously working day and night. I'm giving all the efforts, and in the end, I get they don't promote me. They give promotion to the one who is like your chart name and all that. Office politics that happens. So, and the one who is really working hard, really doing all the tasks, he may not get promoted. He may not get the actual fruit what he was expecting. And then all these thoughts come. Then we should change the company, and then it's just more and more into the trap. So, how can we work nishkamly here? That is not possible, right? I mean, if we keep quiet, if we keep working, and like without the expectation of the fruit, then the world will eat us alive. The world is like that.
Okay, so this could be seen in a two perspective. The first thing is that the Niskam Karma Yoga concept cannot be directly applied to in today's scenario, because this was told by Krishna to Arjuna in 5,000 years ago, and Niskam Karma Yoga already I told that for that the Varna Ashram Dharma has to be defined, then only it can be applied. So practically it is not applicable, this Niskam Karma Yoga nowadays to us. But in a lighter perspective, if you want to see the analysis, the principles, so while performing the result, while performing the activity, the work, we should not be attached with the result. Okay. Suppose, for example, there are two software engineers, they are doing activity. And just I'm applying this principle, and you just see how it is helping. Two software engineers, one engineer is giving his best. Okay, is giving his best effort and he's doing his activity. The second engineer, he does the activity, but half of the time he was thinking about his promotion. He was thinking about the salary hike. He was thinking of, well, this is getting some hike. So he's thinking about that and he's doing his activity. Option B. Now, you only tell who has the higher chance of giving good productivity in the company. The first one or the second one?
The first
one. Why? Because his energy, he has focused in one job. But the second person, his energy is divided. Half of the energy is focusing on the duty, and half of the time, half of the energy was thinking about the result. So automatically the efficiency goes down. So in a layman point of view, also if you apply this principle, then automatically, and who has the higher chance of getting the promotion in general, if everything is good and they are following proper practice? The option A, right? Because he gives the good result and he gives the everything very on the time, so he has the higher chance to get the promotion, high, whatever you may say. So something, if it is not happening as per the proper rules, that is exceptional. But in general, it happens in companies also. I also worked for 5-6 years, and I saw that if somebody is genuinely working hard, he gets the promotion in general if everything is okay. So this is how the Niskam Karma Yoga helps. But saying that, so I'm not saying that you don't apply your intelligence. If somebody is taking your advantages and understanding, then we have our own intelligence. Now then we can apply that. So this concept is called Niskam Karma, but so something is taking advantages and you are working hard, but he's not giving any hike and others are getting high. Better change the situation and go to some other place where you will get a good ambience. So people should not exploit you in the name of this. So that's how the Gita explains us. And wherever is needful, we should apply our intelligence, presence of mind. And these principles are universal. So we should know where it is applicable, and if somebody is taking advantages of that, then you should be aware of that.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Vishal Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Babuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Babuji, how to get off, get rid of the ego, the egoistic attitude, that very ego factor, bad ego, false ego, you can say. How to get rid of it?
I always tell that formula, ABCD formula. A, B, C, D.
Ji Prabhu. Okay, then I get the answer very clearly.
So the devotees makes us very humble. So when you are in association of devotees,
I was told said that if you have a very high ego and all that, go and do seva.
That's not to do seva means with a devotee, right?
Do seva in the mandir, go clean the utensils. You will feel like you'll get rid of the ego itself only. I said okay. Otherwise, apart, because in a work life, you develop ego. If somebody is listening to me, if somebody is following me, I develop ego. Though my work is getting done, but still I develop ego indirectly. And it's like a bubble. We think we are making a like, balloon, but it's not a balloon, it's actually a bubble. So which is anyways, the day it gets burst, it's gonna harm me only.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that
yeah,
that
because of
ego
this
is
ego, because of
scary.
this ego only we are here in this material world. The Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami explains, because of this ahankar, that I am myself something, this identification makes us different from Krishna. And when you think like that way, then you can't stay with the spiritual world, with the Lord. Because there everything is Krishna and we are servant of Krishna. So our ahankar is actually, we are the servant of Krishna. But when you think that we are something, are kya servant, I am also something. So when that thought comes, the moment that thought comes, then Krishna tells, okay, welcome to material world. Here you can become a doctor, engineer, you have your own house, own car, enjoy the life. So that's how in the spiritual circle, in the beginning only, we tell that we are the servant of Krishna. That's how we got the name, Abhimanyu Pran Das. The Das is very important. The name is okay, Krishna's name, but the Das and the Mataji Dasi, that is very important. That actually reminds us that we are not boss, we are servant of Krishna. And that is the true identification, and that is how we go to back to Godhead, by having that ahankar, true identification. So ahankar is not bad. False ego is bad. So true ego is good. What is true ego? True ego is that we are servant of Krishna. So having a pride that I am the servant of Krishna, that is a good only. I am a servant of Krishna. So in that sense. So yeah, that's what when you go to temple, you can try for some menial services like washing pots, brooming the floor. So that will help you a lot. And devotee also makes you humble. When you go to the devotees, the devotee immediately can see, right? Little ego. Let's humble you. So devotees makes us immediately humble. So there is, you may feel little pain, but that is needed. It's like I always give this example. When you put lot of stones in a jar, and all the stones they have their sharp edges. But if you put them and you start rotating and moving the jar, then all the stones they rub each other, and with time they become very smooth. But it will take little time. But that the process of rubbing each other little painful. Similarly, when devotees come together, all have their own nature, on their own shortcomings. Somebody will speak like that, somebody will eat like that. So that creates little friction. And sometimes the quarrel happen, sometimes. But if you tolerate that, then with due course of time, the surface become very smooth. And that's how the ego goes, the ahankar goes, the true identity comes. Otherwise, in ISKCON, we see here in our temple, Americans are there, Africans are there, and Russians are also there. Together, all are staying, dancing, eating. Just imagine, is it possible? White skin, black skin, all kind of skin you see together they are there. So only it is possible because together we are serving, keeping Krishna in the center. So that is very important.
And Prabhuji, I have one more question. Uh, uh, timely donating for, like, for the Krishna conscious activities, is that enough in the eyes of Lord?
It's like Prabhu, like
Because
Krishna.
if I'm not able to perform or give my 100% in that association or in that very field, but I can make sure if donation, I'm donating my income timely,
Yeah,
regularly.
yeah.
Is that allowed in the eyes of the Lord?
Yes, Krishna tells in the 12th chapter, Krishna tells 4 level of devotional service. The first level, Krishna is telling that automatically always your mind should be 100%, you should 24 hours into 7 always think about me. That is the first level of devotion, the topmost, the golden standard. That is called always you are thinking about Krishna. So then somebody may tell that, Are Baba, not possible always. How can I think about Krishna? So Krishna tells, okay, the second level is that whenever the mind gets distracted, use your intelligence and bring it back to me. This is the second level of devotional service. Means your mind is not always on Krishna. Sometimes it goes here and there. You have intelligence. Immediately with the help of intelligence, you can bring. And you read scripture so that your intelligence is very sharp. That is second level of devotional service. Somebody may say, Are Baba, it looks very tough. Mind always goes here and there. How many times I'll bring? I'll get tired by bringing back. So the third type is telling Krishna, Abhyas Rupa. Practice, practice. Okay, it goes here and there. Practice it, practice it, practice. No, practice makes man perfect. That is the third level of devotional service. But somebody may say that, my mind is 99% goes here and there only. How much I will practice and do something else? And then the fourth type, Krishna tells that, okay, no problem. You just engage your physical body. Forget about mind. Mind is very tough, na? So let mind go here and there. You just engage your physical body. Body you can engage, na? You can chant, you can go to the darshan, you can do some seva, and you can pluck some flower for the God, you can do some worship. Physical body is a mind may go here and there. Krishna is engage your body. That is the fourth level of devotional service. So these are the four level of devotional service. Somebody may say, this is also tough. Then Krishna, then there is no other way for him. Then the fifth level is called Niskam Karma Yoga. So in Bhakti, these are the four types of Bhakti. So wherever possible, try to engage your physical body in the services, some devotional. And regarding contribution of money, that is good only, no problem. Whatever is you can able to contribute your money for spreading Krishna consciousness, that is welcome, that is good only. That's how the Grihastha ashram supports the Brahmacharya ashram, the Sannyas ashram. If you see, there are four ashram: Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha, Banaprastha, and Sannyas. Only Grihastha ashram, they do income of money. Other three ashram, they depend on the Grihastha ashram. So that is the main duty of the Grihastha ashram. They support other three ashram so that the other three ashram, they spread the movement throughout the world. That's how the ISKCON Krishna conscious movement also spread across the. So in that way, but that is not a replacement for your devotional service. So never think that, I'm donating now, no need to chant then. Okay, it's okay, no need to read then. So that is not the replacement. Your practice is the primary thing. If you practice nicely and if you donate, then Krishna will become very happy. Only donation and not practicing, then Krishna will not become so much of happy. So if you really the practice, these are the four level of practice, and donation that is also like a seva. Whatever seva you are doing, like in a temple you are going and clean pot vessel. So donation, Krishna is giving you money and you are donating. That is a part of seva. But there is no substitute to the sadhana. So what you are doing then? Yes, Prabhu.
So Prabhuji, you are saying just visiting temple every day is also good enough?
Yeah, visiting temple is also part of sadhana. You are walking, you are engaging your physical body to go to temple and sing Lord. It's like going to a dham, yatra. So that is a part of sadhana, going to temple and sing Lord. And you are chanting Hare Krishna, right? You are chanting also Hare Krishna.
So yeah. So somebody who is just like, there are a lot of people who practice before going for work, mandir darshan karke aate hain. So that kind, of course, they are. I'm talking about people who are not chanting, but who have a trend. They follow the trend, or it's like a customary activity for them to before starting their work or day visit the temple. So that is also comes under physical activity. So as per your explanation, that is also acceptable by the Lord, but they don't practice like the devotional service. Just visiting every day makes them feel comfortable. Okay, aaj mera din acha jayega. Like, no, it's just that part of a daily routine. So that is also acceptable, you are saying.
Yeah, why not? Lord will accept. So depending on their intention, their attitude, what intention they are taking darshan, Lord sees that. Lord is telling, ye yatha mam prapadyante. The way you are coming towards me, I'll reciprocate accordingly. If you are coming for a gulab jamun, I'll give to gulab jamun. Go enjoy.
Yeah, so that's I remember one of the sayings of Srila Prabhupada. He quoted that in Christian they ask for daily bread and butter, like So even that is also accepted, asking the Lord, because at least your that is also an approach towards the Lord.
Yeah.
Even being that you're asking for bread and butter, daily bread and butter, so that is also acceptable. But that is a different category, right?
Yeah. That is
Ji,
different.
Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
I
all the four levels of devotion are equal in the eyes of Lord, or because the effort decreases as we go ahead in the levels, right? So 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 I mean, is it which is better? I mean,
To worshipping Lord, as I told, in generally they tell there are four levels. The beginning level is that they worship Lord out of fear. If I'll not worship, then what will happen, Baba? Let me go to temple. Something will happen. So that is out of fear they worship Lord. That is the most lowest level. And the next level is that they worship for some reward. Like he was telling now, oh my dear God, please give us daily bread and butter. So they know that if I will go and then I'll pray, then I'll get some my bread and butter. It is like Sakam Karma Yogi. They are attached to the result. For that they are doing. That is the next level. At least they are asking God. They are not asking somebody else. They are asking God. And then the second level is that out of duty. It's my duty to go to God. God has given so many things. So before going to the office, at least go and show my face to God. So matter of duty, they go. They don't expect anything, but as a duty, they go. But the best topmost is going to God out of love. That my God, Krishna is God, and I love him. I should see him. He should see me. So the out of a genuine affection, love, if you are going to God, that is the topmost. And that's what this Krishna conscious movement is teaching. That love God, then automatically God will take care of everything. No need to ask daily bread and butter, Baba. He will give you. Have you asked to your mother for daily bread and butter? Mother gives, na. So that is, if you have love to Krishna, then Krishna is loving you, then automatically Krishna will take care of everything. So this concept of love, actually the topmost uh, way of worshipping God. And all religion teaches that only, actually, loving God, like that.
Prabhuji, two more questions I have. One was during the Ekadashi. So yesterday there was Ekadashi and I had kept it strictly. So are we allowed to take Ekadashi prasad, or is it good to do it without the prasadam? I mean, just having water and fruits, or is it okay to take prasadam one time? Or I mean,
So Ekadasi Prabhuji, as your body is allowing you, so you can practice Ekadasi accordingly. Sometimes some body are very pitta body, acidic body. So if you fast, then it aggravated your acid. So for them, it is not recommended. Sometimes some bodies, even though they fast, their body doesn't react so much. So it is based on your physical health. The main goal of Ekadasi is to maximize our time in chanting and hearing. So whatever helps you, we reduce our food intake so that we get maximum time in chanting and hearing. If you eat a lot, then you want to take rest, then time goes like that. So we reduce upavas. Upa means near. Vas means sitting. Sitting near to whom? To God. That is called upavas. So when we reduce our food, everything, then we maximize our time with God's. We chant more, we hear more, and the devotional practices are increased. That is the main goal. So take a call based on what helps in your practicing devotional service. It helps in maximizing that you can practice in your life.
okay, but is there any relation in? I mean, if we do not eat food, is it better in terms of
Generally,
eating?
it is mentioned that Ekadasi, the in a stricter sense, the Ekadasi people do without without eating anything, without drinking the drop of water. That is called Nirzala Ekadasi. And the next level Ekadasi, they drink water. And the third level Ekadasi, they take fruits. And the fourth level Ekadasi, they take Ekadasi Prasad. That sabudana, vare, like that. So different grades the people do. So don't get caught on all those things. As I told that, focus more on chanting, hearing, reading Gita, Bhagavad, Seva, and whatever helps in your body, physical, focus on that intake. That will help you more in advancing in Krishna consciousness.
Second question I had was in Nishkam. So in the 5 levels of devotion, which you explained, starting from 24/7 thinking to fifth one, Nishkam Karma. So the Nishkam Karma Yoga here, what you say, I mean, if I'm doing my office work without the intention of the result, is that also counted in the Nishkam Karma Yoga, or does it have to connect with God? Because it's...
I already told you, Niskam Karma Yoga is not applicable to us. It is in a stricter sense, it is applicable to Varna Asrama duties only. So right now we don't know what Varna we are. In Kali Yuga, in one sense, all our activities are kind of Sudra activity only. We are working under somebody. That is Sudra activity. Brahmana never works under somebody. He has his own. Kshatriya also own. Vaishya also own farm. So only Sudra, they work under these three people. So in Kali Yuga, if you see the maximum of us, it's kind of a Sudra quality only. We are working under somebody, something like that. So actually, this is not applicable. But Krishna is telling all these things because these are there. And before 1000 years, people were practicing Varnasrama. So now, because of the Kali Yuga, it's no more. And with the British education system and everything, it has a decline only.
So now Bhakti Yoga is the middle.
Bhakti Yoga is the most practical. That's how the 7th chapter Krishna will explain. So Krishna is giving everything preliminary. Just all these things are there in the syllabus he is covering. But the moment Bhakti Yoga will come, Krishna will take 6 chapters, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to just highlight how it is practical for Kali Yuga.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So
Hare
two
Krishna.
quick questions. Two quick questions.
Yes.
Won't take much time.
Yeah.
You explained the in order of preference the yoga. I think you said Bhakti Yoga. Then I forgot the middle one. Then you said third one was Nishkam and the last one was Sakam. You said something else between Bhakti and Nishkam. What was that one?
Acha, Krishna is first tells about the Karma Yoga, Sakam Karma Yoga, then Niskam Karma Yoga,
Yes.
and then after Niskam Karma Yoga, there is a Jnana Yoga is also there.
Jnana Yoga. Okay, Jnana Yoga. And the best is Bhakti Yoga.
And after Jnana Yoga is also Ashtanga Yoga is also there.
Oh, Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga and then Bhakti Yoga.
Then Bhakti Yoga is there.
So, but they all, in all the moksha is achieved except,
Yes.
so it doesn't matter the order of preference, right? I mean, even though.
Sakam Karma Yoga doesn't give moksha.
Okay, Sakam doesn't give, but rest everybody else gives moksha. Okay.
Everybody gives moksha, but in moksha also there are variety of flavors like strawberry, chocolate.
Well, it doesn't matter. You are in Vaikuntha Lok or Golok. It doesn't matter. They're all same. From my perspective.
All are not same, Prabhu. That's what I'm telling. All are not same. Vaikuntha is different from the Vrindavan, right?
You can be a billionaire, you can be a millionaire. Doesn't really matter. It's all same.
The flavor matters.
Yeah.
The Vaikuntha flavor is different than the Vrindavan flavor.
I understand. Yeah. No. Yeah.
So,
well, you have to have happiness. That's okay.
the relation matters, right?
Yeah.
And moksha.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Moksha means in a lighter sense, Niskam Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, generally the moksha they get is liberation from birth and death, but they don't get entrance to Krishna's abode. They just stay outside. That is called moksha. That is called Brahman effulgence. But to get entrance into Krishna's abode, they has to have a personal relationship with God. Without having relationship, how can you enter somebody's house? A person will not allow, na? So in Niskam Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, they do their own practices, they accept God, but they don't have a reciprocation with the God. That's how God frees them from birth and death cycle. But Lord doesn't allow them to enter inside the planet. They just stay outside the planet. That is
I think I need more study on your classes and understand more. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes, Manjari Mataji, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I mean, just on a lighter note, I would just wanted to ask, the Bhagavad Gita, like today, the main essence of the thing was to have a mental equilibrium and um, not be too happy and not be too sad, not be too angry or not be too upset. Or, you have to just, no matter what the situation is presented in front of you, you have to be able to maintain and just focus on Krishna Bhakti. But in all the stories in our thing, which we hear about gods and all, so many times in the stories, so many of the gods and goddesses are always angry only. So, I mean, so when somebody is doing something like, or like just now you said, Mata Parvati got angry when Prabhuji asked a comment, even without meaning any harm or this thing. And you said he was friends with
Sure.
so he took it lightly, but Mata Parvati got angry. So like, I was just trying to understand if we are, like, if they are teaching their children to maintain a certain equilibrium, but if our gods and goddesses only cannot control their temper and try to be neutral with their devotees and try to explain in a more neutral way and lead by example, like you say. I mean, I'm just asking on a lighter note. I'm not trying to find any this thing, but like so many stories since childhood we are hearing, so like this goddess got angry or Shivji got angry, and then it's always like my daughter when she was small, she used to ask me, ki, isn't God supposed to be loving and forgiving, and why are they always getting angry? Or if she hears somebody telling their child, if you do this, then God will be angry with you, they'll punish you. So like when she was growing up, my daughter used to keep asking, ki, because my dad had told her, ki, God doesn't punish or anything like that. It's depending on how you are, what your karmas are, you will get the results. Like he's not going to, like, because you did something just today, it's not like a punishment book. So I was just thinking, why in our stories all the gods are always angry and kind of
Got your point, Mataji. So first thing is that we have to understand that Krishna, and when Krishna does some activity and other gods, so that first in the journey of self-discovery session is there, there I've already clarified that one god or many god. So in that concept, we learned that Krishna is the supreme personality of God, and all are the devatas. They are under Krishna, they are performing their activity. So there are four tattva. Krishna is called Vishnu tattva, and Jiva tattva means we all are Jiva tattva. And Brahma is also part of Jiva tattva, and all the devatas are Jiva tattva. They are made with this tattva only. And there is a Shiva tattva. Shiva is different. And there is a Sakti tattva. So these are the four tattva. So except Vishnu tattva, Vishnu means Krishna, Ram, Vishnu, and all the avatars, all three, they can come under subjugation of the three modes of material nature. The three modes, mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, always these three modes are making everyone dance. So when a person is under this three mode, then automatically the dualities of life. Sometimes they become angry, sometimes they become happy. So these are always the dualities of life will continue. No matter there may be some big demigods, devatas, Brahma, Parvati. Because in the material world they are there, and in the material world this is the nature, and we are not Vishnu Tattva, so automatically this nature attacked a person. The only thing is that more the person is Krishna consciousness, more is a Vaishnava devotee, there is chances that it will be lessened. It will be lesser. And when it will become zero, then that person will go back to Godhead. He will go back to Godhead. So many devatas we saw, so many pastime where they've exhibited this kind of things. So we can just see how serious it is. That even devatas are coming under subjugation of this effect. Then who we are a simple tiny human being. So can you imagine? So that's how this material world is so powerful and makes everyone dance under the three modes of nature. That's how the Maya affects. But somebody is serious in surrendering to Krishna, then Krishna helps that person to overcome it. And Krishna helps that person to go back to Godhead. There are so many pastimes. Prahlad Maharaj pastime, Dhruv Maharaj pastime. The nice Vaishnavas, when they are totally surrendered to Krishna, then Krishna helps them to tackle with all the dualities of this material world. And that's how they come closer, closer, closer to God. Like that. Hare Krishna. Okay, anybody have any comment or any questions? Priyansu, Satpal ji, Rohan Sa ji.
नहीं है कोई क्वेश्चन
कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है आपका? हरे
नहीं
कृष्ण। कहाँ से बोल रहे हैं आप?
मैं वसई से हूँ पर अभी रत्नागिरी में कॉलेज मिला है तो
ओके, क्या स्टडी करते हैं आप?
कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग फर्स्ट ईयर
फर्स्ट ईयर। ओके,
हाँ
नाइस टू सी यू। हरे कृष्ण।
हाँ हरे कृष्ण
चैंट भी करते हैं? चैंटिंग करते हैं?
हाँ हाँ
कितना वाला करते हैं?
एक ही माला
एक ही वाला करते हैं? अरे वाह।
हाँ
ओके, कंटिन्यू। आपका
हाँ
तिलक बहुत अच्छा है।
हाँ
आपका तिलक बहुत अच्छा दिख रहा है।
हाँ वो सुबह लगाया था अभी तो चला गया पूरा
चलेगा। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण
यस समीर जी। हरे कृष्ण। Yes, please tell. How was the New Year?
Good, all good, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
All blessings.
So how you celebrated the New Year?
I was at home only.
Acha,
I
home
was
only.
fast asleep by 10:30.
Acha. Hmm.
How are you, Prabhuji?
I'm good, Prabhu. So very nice. Maharaj is coming. The Radhana Swami Maharaj is coming on 6th January to Govardhan.
Okay.
So we all are
And
excited.
they're there till how much time?
Sorry?
They'll be there for how much time?
Don't know. Maybe for 1-2 months, maybe.
Acha. Okay. When are you coming to our house, Prabhuji?
Whenever you will call.
So Vita calling you.
Whenever Krishna will decide.
Right, Prabhuji.
Okay. I'll come definitely, Prabhu. So
Yes,
many
Prabhu.
things are happening now here. Tomorrow a school is coming, NSS camp. 50 students are